This is the history of the division of the days of the law and of the testimony, of the events of the years, of their year, weeks, of their jubilees throughout all the years of the world, as the Lord spake to Moses on Mount Sinai when he went up to receive the tablets of the law and of the commandment, according to the voice of God, as he said unto him, Go up to the top of the mount.
Introduction to the Book of Jubilees. The Book of Jubilees, also known as the Little Genesis, is an ancient Jewish religious text that unfolds like a majestic tapestry of history and prophecy. The Book of Jubilees is an intriguing piece of literature that was composed around the 2nd century BCE, a period when the Hebrew scriptures were still being finalized and the Jewish community was under the influence of Hellenistic and early Christian thought. It's a fascinating bridge between the biblical narratives and the emerging beliefs that would eventually shape the diverse landscape of Judaism and Christianity. The Book of Jubilees is a reworking and expansion of the Book of Genesis and the Book of Exodus, with a dash of the Book of Leviticus thrown in. It's like a director's cut of the early chapters of the Bible, offering a more detailed perspective on familiar stories. The writer, who remains anonymous, presents this work as a divine revelation given to Moses on Mount Sinai. The story unfolds in a series of heavenly visions, which Moses is instructed to pass down to the Jewish people. The narrative is organized into units of jubilees, which are 49-year cycles. This unique structure gives the book a rhythmic history from the creation of the world to the giving of the law at Sinai. The author uses this framework to explore themes of divine justice, the covenant between God and his people, and the importance of following God's commandments. One of the most striking aspects of the Book of Jubilees is its focus on angelology and the role of angels, who are not just heavenly messengers, but they are active participants in the unfolding drama of creation, sometimes even taking on human-like characteristics. The book delves into the angelic world, explaining the origins of evil with the story of the fallen angels and the Nephilim, giant offspring of angels and human women, which adds a layer of the supernatural to the biblical narrative. Another notable feature is its emphasis on the sanctity of the Sabbath and the importance of adhering to the laws of purity and sacrifice. The author meticulously outlines the religious calendar and the proper observance of holy days, which reflects the concerns of a community striving to maintain its identity and purity in the face of external influences. The Book of Jubilees is also significant for its presentation of Enoch, a biblical figure who is traditionally considered to be the great-grandfather of Noah. In this text, Enoch is elevated to almost mythical status as a wise sage who receives heavenly revelations and whose writings are revered. This Enochian tradition would later influence other apocryphal works and even early Christian texts. While the Book of Jubilees was not included in the canonical Hebrew Bible, it was highly regarded by certain Jewish sects, such as the Essenes, and it played a role in the development of early Christian thought. Some scholars suggest that it might have even influenced the New Testament. The introduction to the Book of Jubilees sets the stage for this grand narrative by recounting the creation of the world and the origins of humanity. It weaves together biblical episodes with new material, creating a richly textured backstory that delves into the motivations of characters and the hidden meanings behind key events. It's a world where angels and humans interact, divine secrets and mysteries are revealed. The Book of Jubilees is a testament to the human quest for understanding and the eternal fascination with the divine. It invites readers to step back in time, to a world where prophecy and history intertwine, and where the whispers of an ancient faith still resonate with echoes of eternal truths as well as eternal life. Whether you're a scholar, a theologian, or simply someone with a taste for ancient mysteries, the Book of Jubilees offers a unique and captivating glimpse into the early development of religious thought. Part 1. Overview and Commentary. Part 1 of the Book of Jubilees focuses on the creation of the world and the early history of humanity. It begins with the creation story, which is presented in a way that is both similar to and different from the account in Genesis. For instance, it introduces the concept of Jubilees as a period of 49 years, with a 50th year of rest, which is derived from the biblical practice of the year of Jubilee, Leviticus 25. This reworking of the creation narrative serves to highlight the significance of this sacred timekeeping system, which is central to the author's theological perspective. The Book of Jubilees also delves into the angelic realm, providing additional details about the fall of the Watchers and the origins of evil. This section includes the story of how certain angels, led by the angel Semjaza, lusted after human women, mated with them, and produced the Nephilim, a race of giants who brought corruption to the earth. The text explains that God's decision to send the Great Flood was partly in response to the spread of this impurity and the resulting wickedness. Another key element of Part 1 is the emphasis on the importance of the Sabbath and the covenant between God and the patriarchs. The author reaffirms the biblical narratives of Adam, Noah, and Abraham, but adds additional laws and stipulations, often with an apocalyptic undertone. These include instructions on the proper observance of the Sabbath and the necessity of circumcision for the maintenance of the divine covenant. Part 2. Overview and Commentary. Part 2 of the Book of Jubilees covers the period from the life of Abraham to the exodus of the Israelites from Egypt under Moses' leadership. This section of the text is rich in detail and provides an expanded narrative of the lives of the patriarchs, including the often overlooked events between the major biblical milestones. It also introduces the concept of testamentary literature, where characters like Abraham and Moses are given visions of the future and are instructed to pass on divine laws and prophecies to their descendants. One of the most notable aspects of Part 2 is the emphasis on the importance of the land of Israel. The author goes to great lengths to explain how the land was divided among the tribes of Israel and the significance of the Promised Land in God's plan for His people. This section also includes an expanded version of the story of Jacob and his family, with a focus on the conflict between Jacob's sons and the eventual reconciliation with his son Joseph. Furthermore, the Book of Jubilees provides a detailed account of the sojourn in Egypt and the subsequent Exodus. It includes unique details, such as the exact number of years the Israelites were in Egypt and the reasons behind certain laws, such as the prohibition of marrying within certain degrees of kinship, which are explained in the context of the narrative. The Book of Jubilees is an intriguing blend of biblical exegesis, historical reinterpretation, and legalistic expansion. It offers a glimpse into the beliefs and practices of a particular Jewish community during the Second Temple period and their efforts to reconcile the past with their contemporary religious and cultural context. The text is particularly significant for its influence on later Jewish and Christian traditions, including the development of the concept of merit and the role of angels in human affairs. In summary, the Book of Jubilees serves as a bridge between the Hebrew Bible and later religious texts by providing a more structured and legalistic framework for understanding God's plan for humanity. It emphasizes the importance of adherence to divine commandments, the sanctity of the Sabbath, and the centrality of the covenant. While not considered part of the canonical scriptures by most mainstream religious groups, it remains a valuable resource for scholars and those interested in the evolution of Jewish and Christian thought during the Hellenistic period. To hear the complete Book of Jubilees, Part 1 and Part 2, read by Alexander Scourby, now tap the link in the description box below and save it for instant access and share it with others. Also, please like and subscribe to our channel. As well, in the description box is a link to the entire playlist of the King James Bible read by Alexander Scourby. Save the link for instant access as well. Or you can click the link in this end tag to access the complete Book of Jubilees, and second link to number 1 playlist from Genesis to Revelation, read by Alexander Scourby. Save the link for instant access and share it with others. Let us hear what you think about the Book of Jubilees.